I want to welcome you once again to the Yiboneh Beit Midrash. Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of good programming. You got to go onto our website and see the schedules because it's just too much going on. We have about 8 classes a week that I give, but Baruch Hashem, we're able to have on Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, other bigger speakers than me, that's for sure. And we're really happy and privileged to have Rav Gav tonight. I just want to mention specifically and emphatically and happily, we do have a sponsor for this evening, and that is Asher and Ruth Abraham. I'm very happy that they are, I feel like really they're like partners with us, and B'ezrat Hashem continue. And the choice of tonight's topic was chosen in a meeting that we had with Asher, and it was based on the idea of how can we bring down to, in simple terms, to improve our lives, to make our lives better. And of course, that's what Yiboneh is all about. And this is a great topic and a great auditor, a lecturer, and rabbi. And just the history between us, it seems like when I left Aish Torah after 20 years, this young man appeared.
Thanks for the two of us.
Thank you for coming. Are you serious?
No, what'd you say?
The boomerang effect of your generous choices.
Oh, nice.
Charity.
That's good. All right. How are we doing over here? Hey, we're good. Great. All right. Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. We have one live member. Okay, it's got to sound better than that. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Oh, there you go. Nice, thank you. There are actually thousands here. Okay, so we're just going to start off with an oldie but a goodie concept, an idea, and I don't know what you're used to over here. Apologies, I don't usually listen to things due to a severe thing called ADD, but I like to talk about them. So when I say something and ask a question, it's not rhetorical, it's a real question. So therefore, I'm looking for a response. This is a more discussion-based than it is lecture-based. Okay, shall we begin? Let's. So the first statement I want to make, and if you agree, disagree, speak up on it, that is that we are very selfish. We're very selfish. When I say we, I mean you guys. Right? You guys are unbelievably selfish. I'll include myself as well. We are very selfish. Yeah, you're very welcome. What are you sitting behind over there? Get closer. Right? You're very selfish. But if we take a look, you see that I would venture to say, and tell me if you disagree, anything you've ever done in your life, you have done for yourself. Easy crowd, that's it? You're just going to agree with that?
No, not always.
Always.
Not always.
Always.
To what degree?
It's a good question. Good question. To what degree?
Eventually it's for ourselves.
Eventually, always. Now, fight it out with me. Give me an example in your life that you've done something that was not for yourself.
Good question.
It's getting hot in here, huh?
You even have read it to so many, you have to speak about it.
Giving somebody a lift and going out of your way.
Why'd you do it?
Because you wanted to help somebody else.
Why?
Help
Who
people.
cares? Let him rot.
So you care about...
What was that?
You care about...
Say it again?
You care about it.
Who cares?
Our kid.
Oh, look at that. It's for you. You care and you get something out of it. See, there's been plenty of circumstances in your life when you had an opportunity to help someone you didn't. I shouldn't say that right. Is it accurate, right? Someone asks you to do something, it's a little bit out of your way or whatever it is, and sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. Why is it in certain circumstances you say yes, and other circumstances you say no? Well, what am I going to get out of this one, and when I'm not getting out of that one? This one is too much of a bother for me, and this one's less. Now, let's to what degree is the real question here. Understand that when I say the comment was anything we've ever done we do for ourselves. I don't mean solely for ourselves. It could be you are also doing it for someone else, but you can't get away from yourself. Do we hear this?
Because when you do a mitzvah, you get that feeling of euphoria. And
Yeah.
so you're receiving that, and you're receiving points in Shemayim
That's right.
for doing the mitzvah, so we're always getting something back.
We're always getting something, but even without getting with the, you're already ultra-Orthodox here. I'm not even getting to the fact of getting heaven and whatnot. I'm talking about right over here, right now, you're getting something. The something is either people are going to look at you in a positive way, or the something is people are not going to look at you in a negative way. You don't want to be looked upon as a person that's stingy or that's doesn't give rides or whatever. I was at a lake today and someone came to my window, knocked on my window, and asked if I can give them a ride. So I personally didn't mind. Okay, I'll give you a ride. But there's some people that don't want to do it. But when you're called out on it, you just feel guilty. So like, fine, I'll do it. Yeah, why? Because you want to look bad. You don't want to look like a bad person. Think about it. Ever been? I don't know what it's like here. I don't know if I've seen it here, but in America, a lot of times when you go to like I mentioned, America. You go to the grocery store. Sure, if you ever experienced sometimes when you're going, they ask you as you're paying the bill, would you like to donate $1 for homeless children with no arms, legs, or faces? What do you say?
No.
You say, no, you're English. Okay, but it's like, what would an American say? Right?
Not today.
It's like, you see, you don't say no. Because then this is what it sounds like. No, I don't care about homeless kids with no arms and legs and no faces. Right? And it's like, what? Like, it's just, no, I don't want to. I'd rather not. Thank you so much for offering. I like to say to the cash person, like, you know what? Whatever you give, I'd love to give. What would you like to give today? Yeah? And then they say, you don't care about them? Is that what you're trying to say? You know what? I don't either then. Forget it. Forget society. Okay, but we feel guilty now. It's something we get guilted into it. I'm going to go and do it now. We're very, very selfish. Now, if you take how do you say in Hebrew selfish? Anyone know?
Anochi.
How do you say selfish?
Anochi. Anochi. Enochi.
Selfish.
Anochi, yeah.
Anochi.
Anochi.
Anochi. Interesting. Selfishness. Anochiut. Right? The word anochi, does it sound familiar to anyone? What's that? Right in the beginning of the 10 Commandments. More accurately, the 10 utterances. It doesn't say aseret mitzvot. It says aseret adibrot. Okay, another talk, which we'll probably never have. However, it says anochi is the very first word, and it's a very strange word. If anyone knows a little bit of etymology, etymology would be the source and root of words. What is the etymology of the word anochi? Anyone know?
What?
The shorish, hamakor shemila anochi.
Me. I, myself.
מאיפה זה בא? מאיפה זה בא? אנוכי. So I heard this interesting. It's a medrash. Medrash says something fascinating. We live in Israel. Let me say this. I don't know you guys. I live in Israel. Perhaps some of you do too. Right? Welcome to Israel. And there's this interesting thought that some people have that you live in Israel, you should speak Lashon HaKodesh. Speak Hebrew. So first off, that's an interesting statement right there. Lashon HaKodesh and then Hebrew. We know that the modern Hebrew we have is not exactly the same Hebrew that we find in the Torah. Imagine I'd be telling you a story. But, once upon achat, Abba Sheli, Vayidaber el achi lemor. It just doesn't say that. Yeah. In the modern Hebrew, Ben Yehuda, 1900s, we do certain things, but interesting is when a person goes ahead and they decide they're going to speak Hebrew. Because here we are, we're in Hebrew, this is the Holy Land, and I am so tempted to take this to another direction. I'm not going to right now, another time perhaps. However, we go ahead and we speak Hebrew. So there's a certain shul, I don't want to say where it is, but there's a shul somewhere here in Israel. And there's a Beit Knesset, and in this Beit Knesset, it's a very Anglo community, meaning very much not native Israelis. People coming from England, South Africa, America, Australia, from all over. And this particular shul, they're very makbid, they're very, very diligent, they stress the concept. What's the word? Observant? They observe, okay, we'll go with that. They're very makbid about making sure that all the talks are done in Hebrew. Can you imagine any problems that might arise with that in an Anglo synagogue? What would be a problem, anyone?
Clarity of transmission of concepts.
Well, that's a nice way of saying it. They don't know what the heck is going on. Clarity of transmission of concept in simple English. They don't understand Hebrew. A lot of them come in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and they don't speak shalom shulchan kisei, right? And that's what they know, right? Ani iparon tapuach. There's just a couple of words. So what happens? You get up and say like a 20-minute drasha from an Israeli Rav. They're sitting there like me, and they're like, but they don't know what's going on. And you wonder why people are just not growing. So many people went to the Rav and said, hey, Rabbi, maybe speak in English. The Rabbi speaks English fluently. Maybe speak in English. So one woman in the community, her son, showed her the following medrash. And I saw the medrash based off this situation. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. The word Anochi, says the medrash, is an Egyptian word. The first of the Aseret Dibros begins in Egyptian. Why would you start in Egyptian? That's the most decadent society that they left from. And you're starting the beginning of all of Judaism with Egyptian? What's the answer? Where were they living the past 210 years? Egypt. God said, I want you to understand me. So I'm going to speak in the language you get. Anochi. Let's start with the idea of language that you understand. Interesting. The source and the root of the word selfish is one of the most selfless acts that was ever done. Let me speak in a way that you get it. God doesn't need anything. And the entirety was just for the people to understand what's going on. Interesting that maybe we should learn a lesson of what? Of following the ways of God. I'm not saying don't speak Lashon HaKodesh or Hebrew or whatever you want to call it. I'm saying, but be aware of your surroundings, know who you're talking to. Let people understand what's happening over here. The idea of selfishness. Now here's something interesting. The best way to be selfish, and every one of us is selfish. The best way to be selfish is, it's an amazing lesson, amazing trick. The best way to be selfish is to be selfless. When you give towards something, when you give over and you invest in something, how do you feel about it? How do you feel?
Great.
What do you feel better about? Taking $100 or giving $100? A lot of this has to do with age and maturity and circumstance, yeah? So there are people, I don't know if any of you have kids or still are yourselves, but think back to a little kid, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, what's better, giving 100 or getting 100? Okay, someone like, what's 100? Okay, well, when they get like 14, 15, here's your opportunity. What do you want in life? You can give or take. They'll be like, all right, whatever you want to give me, I'm happy to give you the opportunity to give me. Yeah? They're so sweet, so kind. But we really do understand that the best way to be selfish is to be selfless. I heard a quote from somebody who was known to be quite a wealthy figure, lived in America. His name was Zev Wolfson. Has anyone heard the name Wolfson before? Okay, wealthy fellow. Now he was nifter a few years ago. Still, his family gives somewhere between $50 and $100 million a year to tzedakah. Whatever, it's chump change. $50 and $100 million a year to tzedakah. I don't know all you people here. I don't think will ever see in my lifetime $50 million, and this is being given away every single year. And he said, the only money I ever really made was the money that I gave away. Fascinating. The only money I ever really made was the money, this guy was a billionaire. The only money I ever really made is the money that I gave away. When we give, we end up getting so much more. We all perhaps famously know in Parshas Kisisa, or if you prefer Kitisa, or if you prefer Kitita, we have in Parshas, which that's not anything. But in Parshas Kisisa, we have a very interesting word when it talks about tzedakah. And what word is used over there? Which word am I looking for? It rhymes with vinasnu. Vinasnu. That's the word. Okay, so that's the word vinasnu. Or again for the Israelim and the Chum, that is vinatinu. Vinatinu. Yes? Or if you're from Teman, vinatinu. Vinatinu. What is vinatinu? How you doing? So what is the idea of vinasnu? Vinasnu means what? What does vinasnu mean?
Give.
And to give. And we all know perhaps the concept, something known as a palindrome, or in Hebrew I think it's palindrome. It's also Italian, palindrome. In Spanish, palindrome.
Can read it both ways.
Good, you can read both ways. For example, in America, the famous ones used are things like what?
Anna.
Anna, mom, pop, dad, race car. Yeah? You could read them backwards and forwards, the same thing. What's the word vinasanu? Vav, nun, taf, nun, vav. Either way you read it, it comes backwards and forwards, teaching us, interestingly, that what? When somebody gives, they get back. When somebody gives, they get back. If we got in terms of actual tzedakah, cash money, we know. Aser ta'aser, aser b'shvil tetit asher. It might mean chomesh, by the way, for those who understand what I'm talking about. But when we give tzedakah, this is one of the things we get challenge God with. And we say, we give, and you're going to give us back. God says, I'm going to give it back to you. Amazing. You give, you're going to get back. V'nasnu is the idea when you give to someone, you get back. In Parshas Vayechi, the beginning of the Parsha starts by saying Vayechi Yaakov, and Yaakov lived. And what's Vayechi? Anyone know any pshatim on the word Vayechi itself?
And he lived.
What's Vayechi? It's not a palindrome, if you're trying to figure it out.
No, Sham is when and he lived.
Okay. That's right. So how long did Yaakov Avinu live?
110 years old.
How long did he live?
180, I think.
How long did Yaakov live?
About 180.
137?
We're getting closer.
39.
Keep going. The first one you answered, but your watch the other way. 10 minutes off. 147. It was 147 when he died.
30 plus 7.
Right, that's what I was saying. So if you take a look, and it says Vayechi. What's Vayechi? And he lived. What's and he lived? The gematria of the word Vayechi is how much? 34. Vayechi is 34. What's 34? So we know that Yaakov Avinu had Yosef. Yosef was taken from him at what age? 17 years old. And then at the end of Yosef's life, when Yaakov and Yosef reunited, you said 130 until then was how many years that Yaakov and Yosef were together? For another 17 years. 17 and 17 is 34, which means that Yaakov only really lived when he had all of his children, and he also had Yosef. The first 17 years of his life, then he suffered for those 130 minus 17, 113 years. 113 years of his life, he then had this, or whatever, that's not accurate because he wasn't 13 when he had the kid, but you get the point. Bottom line is he suffered, and then at the very end of his life, he had the last 17 years with him. Vayechi Yaakov's life was only when he had 17 and 17, 34, these years he had with Yosef. But the Baal HaTurim, this is a Baal HaTurim, very famous Baal HaTurim. Baal HaTurim also says another idea. He says that what happened is that Yaakov Avinu gave to Yosef for 17 years. He took care of him. He supported him. He raised him. And what ended up happening? At the end of his life, Yosef supported Yaakov for 17 years. He supported him, he took care of him, and made sure that he lived. We find whatever Yaakov gave to Yosef, Yosef gave back to Yaakov. 17. Obviously, that wasn't Yaakov's intent. He wasn't thinking, I'll take care of this kid in order that. Some of us do think, let's have kids, so when we get old, they'll take care of us. Yeah? Some people have that mentality. And actually, maybe it's a Rashi, by the way, it brings it down by Leah, and Rachel. But still, that's not generally our mentality of like, you know, when you have a child, you turn to your spouse and say, this is great, now we're set when we're old. Yeah, that's not really, hopefully, the mentality. The mentality is okay to be able to give. Ultimately, or whatever, again, it's part of the discussion. There's so many facets. We'll have to have a part two. Should we? Let's do it. Okay. So let's take a little bit further, a bit deeper within the whole idea. 17 years. He gave for 17, he got back 17. We don't even realize. When we give to something, there's sometimes in our life when it's clear as day to us that we see, that we get back. Sometimes it's less noticeable, but it's guaranteed that if you give something, you're going to get back. You give something, you're to get it back. Now this is like something particular to the concept when we say about tzedakah, charity itself. We didn't even branch out a little bit, which I want to do. But let's try to first understand. I'll tell you a fascinating story that I heard from a friend of mine. This actually happened to his family. I wanted to call him before I came here, just to get the refresher in the story. So it's a little bit off. Forgive me. The main point is still there. I think the guy's name was Solomon. I think it was Solomon. Last name Solomon. And this fellow was in the German army. Now this is in World War I. World War I, he was in the German army. And he was fighting in the Italian Alps. You guys know what I'm talking about? Does this make sense, what I'm saying? Okay, so just nod along with me and let's say it's true. So, he's out in the Italian Alps, and his job was, he was a high-ranking official, he was a scout. And what he had to do is he would go ahead, and when he would find that, let's say there's enemies up ahead, he would go back to tell his people to come back and attack and be able to, okay. So Germany's fighting against Italy. The Jews at the time were very much on the side of the Germans at that time. We're in World War I, we're talking about. So he comes ahead out in the snowy Alps, of Italy. And they're going ahead, and he sees a bunch of Italian troops. So he quickly goes back to get his people, and they come ahead, and they surround them, and they capture them. Now, what they're meant to do is to take them back as prisoners of war. That's what they're supposed to do. But the guy in command over there was just like, he's like, this is crazy. You know, it's freezing, and like, we don't want to go all the way back. We're already making headway. Let's just shoot them here. And Solomon, I think was the name, right? He's like, whoa, 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 that's not what we do. You understand? Yeah, I know we're out in the middle of nowhere and all, whatever. He's like, you don't do that. So he goes, come on, what's the big deal? You know? We'll shoot them, we'll bury them in the snow, no one will know anything, and we'll move on. And he stood in front of them and he said, I'm not going to let you do that. He said, listen, Solomon, stand down. He said, I'll tell you what. You want to shoot them? No problem. But you're going to have to shoot me first. Not letting this happen. These are people with families. You understand this is war, but they don't have any weapons. We have them now. They're prisoners. We put them away, but we don't kill them in cold blood. Not happening. Freezing blood right out there. So he didn't want a whole hearing, like he has to find what happened to him afterwards when he shot the guy and actually killed him. So like, all right, he's just fine, we'll bring him back. Fine. Fast forward. A bunch of years later, this guy moves to America. He moves to a place called Chicago. Anybody familiar with Chicago? Moved to Chicago. And he makes his living as a kind of like construction, fix-it, side type of thing. And he's doing his thing. And perhaps some of you will remember that there was a tremendous fire in Chicago in the 20s, which big fire, and destroyed a lot of properties. One particular building which got devastated. So this guy who worked in construction from his truck, you know, whatever, he was like a small little, you know, fix it there, do this there, whatever. He's like, this is a gold mine now. Because they're going to destroy this building now because of the fire. They're going to get money from insurance. Maybe there's stuff in there that's salvageable that he could use for his own company. So he went to the building manager, and he said, do you mind if I go in to take some of the stuff that I could use? He goes, listen, I'm getting insurance money anyway. Go ahead, take whatever you want. So he goes in there, backs his truck right up to the building, and he starts going, taking things. And he's doing his thing, he's gathering all the stuff from the truck. After like a long day of work, as he's doing his thing, what happens? Thank you so much, giving. That's amazing. Here, this is for you. No, I'm kidding. If you give, you get. All right, so after this long day of just doing this, he's tired, his hands are all dirty. He goes back inside, you know, he wants to wash his hands. He's like a faucet there. He turns on the faucet, starts washing his hands. As he's washing his hands, he's looking at this water and he's realizing that it looks pretty dirty. You know, he's like washing his hands with dirt. The water looks like yellowish, whatever. Figured there's a fire, destroyed it, whatever. But then he smelled something strange. It didn't smell like water. It smelled like alcohol. And he's like, alcohol? In the meantime, as he's washing his hands, he overhears two people behind him speaking in Italian. Now, he speaks Italian because he was stationed in the Italian Alps during World War I. He overhears one saying to the other, "Oh no, he found our stash." What stash? What was going on in the 20s in America? Prohibition. Prohibition. So what was the mafia doing? Gathering as much alcohol as they can. And under that building was the reservoir of where they kept the alcohol. And this was the one tap for all of the illegal alcohol that was going on in Chicago. And this Yahtzee was washing his hands with illegal prohibition alcohol. And he overhears them going in Italian, "Oh no, he found our stash. We have to kill him." So he, he gets a little shut up, but then he realizes they're in Chicago. He doesn't speak Italian. So he just pretends like nothing happened, shuts the faucet. He goes,
"Oh, hey guys, I'm just gonna go now. Thanks."
and they're like, "Not so fast. Have a seat."
What are you talking about? Have a seat where? I don't know what you're talking. Why would I sit? I have to go in the truck and nice try. Sit down.
And they put him down, they tie him to this chair, and one goes to the other. The big boss likes to take care of people like this. That's called the big boss. So he's sitting there listening to them speaking how they're gonna kill him. And he's like, "Oh, great. All my life to get killed in a fiery building. I mean, this is crazy, As he's doing his thing, the big boss arrives, walks into the room, and he goes, "Luigi, Mario, what's going on?" And he said, "Listen, this guy, bada bing, found the stuff." It's Italian. What he said is that this man found their stash. That was okay. I don't want to brag or show off here, but okay, that's. So he goes and he says, he doesn't even look at Mario and Luigi. He just looks at the guy sitting in the chair. He goes, "Oh yeah, this guy found our stuff." He goes, "Yeah." They go, "Yeah." And he says, "All right, boys, get out of here. I'll take care of it." "Boss, you want us to go?" "Get out of here. I'll take care of it." Okay, they leave. He goes to the guy and he says, "So where were you on the night of December, whatever, 1914, or whatever it was?" Yeah. And he goes, he didn't do this, his hands were tied. He mentally did that. It's like, "I don't know where I was. Whatever." He goes, "Where were you?" He goes, "Listen, he didn't want to say he was in Italy, because then he's going to know that he's giving up that he spoke Italian, whatever." And he says, "I don't know." He goes, "You do speak Italian." Yeah. So he goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I'll tell you where you were. You were fighting for the Germans. You were in the Italian Alps." He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about? Solomon?" He goes, "Who?" He goes, "Listen, my friend, I'll tell you how I know where you were. Because you were in the Italian Alps after just capturing a group of Italian soldiers. And you stood in front of them and you said, 'If you're going to kill them, you'll kill me first.' And you know how I know this? Because I was standing right behind you. You saved my life. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you now. I'm only going to chop off your fingers, you hear? But consider yourself lucky." He says, "What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you go. And you're going to turn around and walk out of here and never tell this story again." When I told this to my kids, they go, "Well, I guess he told the story." Because now we know the story. Right? So wait until, the Don died, Who would have thought this guy saved someone's life in the Alps, the enemy? And by doing that, what goes around comes around, and eventually gets his life saved by this very guy because he decided to go and behave in a certain way. Friends, understand Vinasanu, it goes both ways. That's the Vilna Gaon actually points out. The Gaon from Vilna, if you're Sephardi, he points out that if you look on top of the word v'nosenu, it has the truck, the ta'amim, the notes. What are the notes? Anyone know? So maybe we have different Torahs, but in mine, now you did a Sfaradic shtickle, so I don't even know what happened there. But it's the words kadma v'azla. Good, we're on the same page. So show me that, right? So we do it by we, I mean Ashkenazim, v'nosenu, right? Which means what? Kadma v'azla. Sorry, it's not as poetic. You know, you guys are like ah na na na. You guys get it going on. You know, we just kind of boring like that. Anyway, so what happens? The Nasanu is kadma v'azla. Kadma v'azla. If you look at the notes, they shaped. One goes like this, one goes like that, which means to say it goes like this and then it goes like that. It goes back and it goes forth. When you go ahead, or let me say it differently, it goes forth and then it comes back. When a person goes ahead and behaves in a certain way, you start to give towards something, it alters your life. It could save your life. Perhaps you've heard of the expression tzedakah tatzil mimaves. Tzedakah tatzil mimaves, or tzedakah tatzil mimavet. Tzedakah, giving charities. What's that? Mimavet. Yeah, Italiano. Right? It teaches you, right? Tzedakah saves you from death. What does that mean, tzedakah saves you from death? Okay, so Chazal teaches us. We know this is the way it is. Tzedakah saves you from death. This is a real deal. This ain't no games, people. It's a serious business. Business saves your life. You give tzedakah, it could save your life. So most of these concepts end up being in the spiritual realm of us, perhaps never understanding or seeing how. I'll share with you a story my brother shared with me. This is pre 1948. There was a Yid living here, a Jew living in Israel. There were more than one. One particular one I'm going to share with you. And this Jew was walking down the street somewhere in Jerusalem, predominantly Arab neighborhood where he was. A little place called Baka. This is an old Arab house, apparently. Anyway, so walking somewhere in Yerushalayim, and this Jew, he saw a very poor Arab man. Okay, he's not Jewish, but okay, he felt he should give him. He gave him a couple lira, or whatever it was at the time. He gives him some cash. The next day he's walking down the street, and he does it again. A couple coins he drops in. And he does this every day as he's passing by. One day, after doing this for about a month, as he's walking by this alley, and as he walks by the alley, he feels something, so he grabs him, pulls him into the alley. Arab guy pulls him against the wall, takes out a knife, and he goes, Jew. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. He says, oh yes, Solomon? Anyway, so he says to him, Jew. He says, you don't know me, but I know you. He goes, okay, who am I? He said, you've been passing by this place for quite some time now, and every day you pass by, I've been so angry seeing a Jew walking through my town. Every day I'm coming and I'm about to kill you. But as I'm about to go through with it, I notice that you give money to an old Arab man sitting on the floor. That old Arab man is my uncle. And the fact that you have been supporting him all these days, all these weeks, that's the one thing that stopped me from doing something to you. But I'm going to tell you, Jill, don't show up here again or it's over. I believe this is what we call tzedakah, tatzil, mimavet, quite literally. This isn't like one of these stories. And then an angel came and swooped him up, right? The Arab goes, Ani hamalach shilcha. Yeah? What happened over there? He was saved because the fact that he gave tzedakah, to go and give charity, to go and help out. We don't even know how powerful it is. How powerful is it? So it's pretty good. It's pretty powerful. But interestingly, the Gemara in Bava Basra says, Bava Batra, I think it's on page 9, Daf Tes. Amazing Gemara to read. If you haven't read it, read it. If you read it again. The Gemara over there goes through a series of stories. Also an amazing Gemara brought down in Ksubas on page 67. Not parallel. Interesting also about tzedakah. But this one is on Daf Tes. Daf Tes, Yud. It goes through powerful. Powerful power. Come over there discusses that if somebody gives tzedakah, they get blessed. They're blessed. How many blessings? Anyone know? Give you multiple choice. Is it A, 6 blessings, B, or C? A is correct, right? 6 blessings. That's what the Talmud says. To get 6 blessings. But someone who does chesed, says the Gemara, gets 11 blessings. The Gemara goes through what they are. Someone who does tzedakah gets 6. Someone who does chesed gets 11. What does that mean? Why would that be? And the Gemara goes to explain, because a person who does tzedakah, the connotation of tzedakah means with what? With what? With money, kesef, money, cash. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody has money. Chesed is with goof. It could also be cash, but it's also your body. Anybody can do it. When it comes to tzedakah, only the wealthy. When it comes to chesed, even the poor. When it comes to tzedakah, you can only do it to someone who's poor. When it comes to chesed, you could do it even for someone who's rich. Chesed is so much bigger, so much more broad. The concept just opens up more. And how powerful is the idea of chesed? I don't think I need to even explain it. All of chesed, yiboneh, support, olam chesed, yiboneh.
Building.
The world is created through the act of chesed. Unbelievable. The world's created the idea of chesed. We know the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, chapter 1, Mishnah 2. Shimon HaTzadik. היה משרי כנסת הגדולה. הוא היה אומר, Allah, 3 things the world has created. Allah, שלושת דברים העולם עומד. Not to be confused with chapter 1, Mishnah 18. על שלושת דברים העולם עומד. Which Rabbeinu Yonah changes to קיים. Different though. Emes din shalom. Okay, but here it's Torah, avoda, gemilut chasadim. What's Torah? What does Torah mean? What does Torah mean? Sounds good. Learning. A little bit more than just that, perhaps we could say the word Torah itself. What does it mean? What's the definition of the word Torah? Instructions. How to live your life. Avoda. What's avoda? So back in the day it was karbanot, but we know the Gemara now tells us avoda shebelev, zui tefillah. The idea of prayer. And what's the last but not least? Ve'al gemilut chasadim. Many people, it's interesting. If you're Israeli, you'll know more because you're familiar with the wording in Hebrew. If you're Anglo, a lot of people don't know this. Have you ever heard of the idea of a gemach before? Yeah. A gemach. You know what a gemach is? They give things out for people that need certain things. Gemach is an acronym for Gemilut Chasadim. Maybe people never thought about that. Gemach, just the word gemach. What's a gemach? It's a gemach. But a gemach is Gemilut Chasadim. It means chesed. It means giving. It means kindness. That's quite incredible, the whole idea about what's gemach, the world's created through these ideas. And not only that, if we get a bit deeper, Maharal on you, these 3 things are crucial. Without these 3 things, the world cannot exist. Can't stand for sure. Torah, avoda, gemilut chasadim. I once heard the Maharal discusses this, that there is nothing in this world that could stand on less than 3 legs. You need at least 3 legs for something to stand. So one of my students once raised their hand and said, "What about ducks? Ducks can stand on 2 legs." And I said, "Why did you choose ducks and not human beings? What did they like? Ducks." Okay, but it's an accurate point, and I'll deal with your point. See, right now I'm standing, and I'm standing still. But the truth is I'm not. You're never standing still. You're constantly balancing. And if you stop balancing, what happens? What happens? You fall. You need at least 3 legs. 3 chairs, right? A stool has 3. Some tables have 3. If you have less than that, no good. You need at least 3. No more than that, you can have more, but you don't need more. 3 is what you need in order to stand. That's why, interestingly, We know this, so we have Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. What is that called? The Shalosh Regalim. What are Regalim? Legs, the 3 legs. The 3 pilgrimage festivals are the 3 legs. The world stands on these 3 things. We need these 3 things in order to be here. One of them is Chesed. Chesed is one of the pillars of the entire existence of the world. The more you give, the more you get. And the giver always gets more than the receiver. The giver always gets more than the receiver. Tzedakah tatzil mimavet, right? We said that charity goes and saves your life. Chesed, my friend, changes the world. Saves the world. Without chesed, it doesn't say on 3 things the world stands. Al Torah, Avodah, and Tzedakah. It says Al Torah, Avodah, Gemilut Chasadim. Gemilut Chasadim is for the world. Don't be so selfish to just give tzedakah. Also, do chesed. That's quite incredible. And what does that mean, chesed? Oh, there's so many things we can do. We don't need to do massive things, just little small things in our lives. Change unbelievable things. How far does it go that it saves your life also, perhaps? So allow me to share with you a beautiful idea that I heard from Rav Palm. Rav Palm of blessed memory. He interestingly puts on the words, we have the Yud Gimel Midos, the 13 attributes of God, which we're going to soon, it's coming soon, people. Coming this summer, Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, Rosh Hashanah is coming soon. It's coming fast. Better start doing tshuva. Rosh Hashanah, time to get clarity. It's time to really start buckling down a little bit, not wait till the end. Like when it gets to El, you're like, oh my gosh, tshuva, tshuva, tshuva. Start earlier. Like, we don't have to be like, oh my gosh, let's just stop doing Averos. And then we don't have to worry about it. All right, so enough about me. So back to this. We're going to be saying them a lot. And Sfardim, Nusach Sfardi, and Sfarad also say it all the time. Hashem, Hashem, Kel Rachem Lechenu, Nerech Hapayim, Rav
Sunday,
Rav Chesed, Ve'emet. The Rav Chesed, Ve'emet. You ever stopped and thought? Have you ever stopped and thought what you're saying? God is Rav Chesed, Ve'emet. What does that mean? What's Chesed? When do we do Chesed? Let's put it this way. What's Emet? Truth, right? Emet is truth, and it's when somebody is deserving of something. This is the truth. The truth is you deserve to get this. When do we use the word Chesed? What's that? It's a little bit more. You know what? I'll do it a chesed for you. You don't deserve this, but I'll do it for you. So is God chesed, or is he emes? Which one? It's a contradiction to say it's chesed and emes. Chesed means more than, emes means exactly as. So are you more than, or are you exactly as? So there's various answers to this. Rav Palm gives, I think, a very nice answer. He says, there are times in life when the truth is, you ain't doing too well. And there has to be some sort of judgment. There's a judgment that needs to happen. And a person might not merit to win that judgment. It might not be good for them, that judgment. But God loves us. God loves us. Allah b'machshavto, he wanted to go and create the world, and din, he said he can't do it, so he did it with chayir, buvya, right? A mixture of both chesed and din, right? The concept of Elokim and Yud Kei Vav Kei, God's name of judgment and of mercy. Whatever that means, it was like Kabbalah Central. Okay, but he goes there, and I can tell people you came to a Kabbalah shir. But, okay, so you see, so what is it? Is it chesed or is it din? Is it emes? Which one? Hashem loves us so much. He only wants us to succeed. So it's like a parent that loves a child. The child does something wrong, and the parent now has to punish the child because they have to learn they can't do that, and they have to know there's consequences to their actions. If they don't learn that when they're young, they won't get it when they're older. If they don't get it, God forbid, when they're older, the consequence can be much more intense. They need to learn things when they're young to get it. But at the same time, the parent doesn't really want to punish the kid. That's not the focus, isn't to hurt them. The focus, they should learn. So they'll give them opportunities, That's it. You have to go to your room. Unless, do you want to say sorry? Do you want to? Hint, hint. Say sorry. Do you want to return that which you stole? Do you want to give back and make right that which you did wrong? I'll give you a chance. That's the undercurrent. But what's being said is, do you want to change it? You have to go here. Do you want to you must go. Do you want, it's almost like when Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm going to kill Klal Yisrael. When did that happen? By the Egel Azav. Now let me ask you guys a question. Why did Hashem even bother telling him that? Just do it. You want to kill him? Kill him.
You want to test his reaction.
Test his reaction, or
He didn't really want to do it.
he didn't want to do. When anybody says, I'm going to, what they're saying is, I don't want to do this.
Stop me.
Right, exactly. In other words, you're basically begging, saying, please stop me from doing this. When the kids are too young, they don't get it. You're like, I'm going to punish you. And they're like, no! When they're older, I'm going to punish you. They get the little twinkle. They look at you like, am I supposed to say something? And you give them that look back. Now's your chance. This is all looks. And then they go, but I'm really sorry. Oh, you're really sorry? You're sure? Because I'm going to punish you. No, I'm really sorry. All right then, Moshe. I won't kill them. What's Hashem saying? Hashem is saying, Moshe, I'm going to kill them. Imagine, Moshe's like eating popcorn. He's like, all right, do what you got to do, God. All right, do what you got to do. Moshe, I'm going to kill them. In other words, pray to me. Oh, don't do it, God. Fine. I won't do it. Avram, I'm going to destroy Sodom. I'm going to do it, Avram. Oh, I know what's happening. No, don't do it. Okay, it didn't work out for them, but you get the point is, now's your chance. So God says, listen, emes, the emes is you don't deserve to get out of this judgment. But I want to give you a chance to get out. So your bank account is low to be able to protect you from this. I'm going to give you a chance to get out of it, to be able to pay for this in a way that you don't have to suffer. Ready? The Rav Chesed. What Hashem will do, says Rav Pam, is Hashem will put us in circumstances where we have opportunities to do Chesed. Those opportunities of Chesed that we then fulfill, fill up our bank account, and then our bank account is full enough that the MS is will be able to withstand the din. Everybody got what I just said? The chesed opportunities that we have in our lives that we pass up are basically like taking free money and throwing it away. Nothing happens for no reason. There's always a reason. When the opportunity opens, there's a purpose and a reason it's opening, and now's your chance to grab it. So you're sitting at your front, in your house, and let's go back to tzedakah. You can do tzedakah and chesed at the same time. You're helping someone out doing chesed by giving them tzedakah. Get a knock on the door. Open up, tzedakah. And you say, get a job. Shut the door. I showed them. Now I stand no chance of overcoming this judgment. Sucker. Rav Chesed. Viennas. God gives us the opportunities, and sometimes we don't even know when we're doing it, what ends up happening, it boomerangs and hits us in the face. There's a lot more to talk about. So what I'm going to do now is just let's do a quick recap of everything we did. End off with one story, and I'm going to bust a move. Here we go. So we started off in the beginning. Every one of us is selfish. Everything that we do in life is doing for ourselves. I'm saying to do for other people as well. But understand that the focus is me. Anochi, anochi, anochiyut. The idea of what if selfishness really comes to the word, the most selfless act of anochi Hashem Elokecha, saying Egyptians. So just relax a little bit, people. Even God did that. Go easy on us Anglos. Yeah? Understand a little bit more that the best way to be selfish is to be selfless. Get to understand the parts of Kisisa, Venasinu, Venatinu, wherever you do it. Venatinu. Right? The idea of what? Back and forth. Realize the fact when one person goes given, they get back. Parshas Vayechi, Gematria 34 to 17. The gave 17, he gave, 17 he got back. When a person goes to give, Solomon, is that you? Right, so okay, so said Ben, because what happened over there, actually says the fact that he was in such a way, really it saved his life. The very fact that he gave the tzedakah actually literally saved his life. Because tzedakah is nice to come up with Basa on page 9 and 10 goes to that, so don't forget to go back to friends are looking like Silver 67 of the amazing stories about it. He goes to the furnace, but they're going to go embarrass somebody, go more insulted, the parallel, I think it's really fial. Okay, we realize what's happening, principle, tzedakah is only with cash. What's the idea of chesed? With your body. Tzedakah is only if you got, what if you're rich? What if it's poor? Because chesed, and chesed can be done with rich or poor. Tzedakah can be done with someone who's rich, someone who's poor. Let me get the other going, the Mishachas Alphas, and says, what, a little bit further, says, all made of three things, halatorah, avodah, gemilas, chasadim, gemach. What's a gemach? Gemach. It's a gemach. Okay, that's what it is. It's gemilas chasadim. That's what it is. The idea of giving. The act of the olam chesed. Yiboneh. Join us at Yiboneh. Right? That's one of my friends. What we're saying right now, realizing this whole idea that a person goes and they gives or something. What it does for the world. Three things you need. It says what? Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, Shalosh. We have galim, the three legs. You can't stand still unless you're a duck. Understand, my friend? Nothing stands still. In 2 feet, you gotta have it 3. Other than the things the giver gets more than the receiver. We think we gave them when really we gave to ourselves. Rav, Chesed, v'emes. Which one? The only money I ever really owned was the money that I gave away. Understand the concept of Hashem loves us so much. He wants to give us opportunities. I'm gonna punish you now, Davin, prove me, pray, and make sure I don't do it. Please, quickly, Moshe, save the Jewish people. All right, save them. Fine, they're saved. Be very careful, because the opportunities for chesed that come around are opportunities that we have in order to save us. Don't think you're doing it for them. Realize the fact that when you help someone, you give them a ride, or you give them something that they need, or even say good morning or hello to them, that very thing is going to boomerang and nail you in the face. It's going to be so painful, it's going to be pleasurable. That, my friends, is quite incredible. So I want to just share with you one last story. Just don't remember what it was. Thank you all for coming. Okay, so I just remembered what it was. The story goes like this. Again, concept of tzedakah, kind of chesed. Sometimes we don't really want to give tzedakah, but we want to help someone. So we say, listen, I'm not even interested in whatever, but okay, if you really want that, I'll help you out, I'll try. Erev Shabbos. A guy gets a knock on his door. Goes to the door, there's a woman there. Please, I need money for Shabbos, for Shabbat, for Bracha, Matan, Mechadim, Keter, Akol. Just give me, I need some cash. Guy's like, listen, I ain't got no cash. God knows that. I got nothing on me, lady. I just don't have. Erev Shabbos. The only thing I have is chicken. You know what I mean? That I just made for Shabbos. Just please, so chicken. Can I have some chicken? He's like, are you kidding? Like, really? Ad kidei kach, you can ask for the chicken? And he goes, please help me, I need something. Okay, something's pulling out of me. It feels horrible. What, he's gonna slam the door in the face? That's like not giving the no legs, no arms, face baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta give, I'll give another time. Yeah, time to take, okay. He says, fine, so wait here. Goes to the kitchen, opens the fridge. When he opens the fridge, he gets the shock of his life. Sitting in the fridge is his 2-year-old son. And he's turning blue. His son was playing, and he got into the fridge and the door closed and he was stuck. But the fact that he decided he's going to help this lady, it saved his own child's life. We think, oh, and he gave it, you know what he ended up giving her? The kid. He ended up giving the entire, so just take the whole chicken. Take the whole, just take the chicken, I'll eat him. Unbelievable, friends. I wish I lived up to what I'm saying. This is such a kitchen. Okay, listen, I try sometimes a little, maybe. But every one of us has to understand, we all want to be selfish. I'm teaching you the best way. The best way to be selfish is to be selfless. And whether that's in terms of the fact that we have cash and we can help out, or we have your body and you can help out. But anything that we have to be understanding to try to be as godly as we can be. And God Almighty said, I'm going to give. I'm a giver. And the more that we do that, the more godlike we actually become. Any questions, comments, stories, subs, attacks? Please give them verbal, non-physical.
Recap?
You heard it when you walked in. I saw you coming. I saw you walk in. I did it for you.
No. I mean, I'm just like your quick read. You know the.
I did it. Oh, for you, that's normal already. You're like, that's the normal speed. All right, people, thank you so much for coming. We look forward to the next time.